people have woken up to the fact that we have this corporate, industrialized, huge-scale model of food production, and it's not even called agriculture anymore. It's like blatantly called agribusiness. We've taken the culture out of the word, and and we all realize that agribusiness is about maximizing the dividends that go back to the shareholders. So it's got nothing to do with growing food. Again, it's back to using food and wildlife, about the bees, etc., as a commodity. And unfortunately, nature doesn't understand economic models, and nor does nature care about economic models. We have to reconnect with nature. All around the world, we also recognize the fact that the answer to the quandary that we find ourselves in now lies in small-scale, regional, organic food production, which re-embraces the principle of diversity. We have these massive, huge-scale monocultures which are now done because, again, economically more viable to do everything in huge scale, ship everything around the world. But we are partly to blame in a way because as consumers, as people who eat the food, we demand cheap food. But the point is that cheap food actually costs the earth, literally costs the earth. Because in order to have all this cheap food, we're warming up the planet, we're actually destroying the soil, we are demanding something. We need to appreciate the real value of food. What we really need to do is get back to getting the scale of the food production, bring it on home, buy Canadian, support local, all these things. We understand that. The question is the policies and the changes that we are needed to put that into action. It's all very well having the new BC Agriculture Act that says, in principle, yes, we recognize these are the things we need. But, what are we actually, when are we going to see the policies that are supporting the actual intention behind the act? I'm still waiting. It's words. When are we going to see the money and the policies behind the words? All sounds good, but let's see something going literally on the ground. You don't need pesticides and herbicides if you're not growing monocultures. It is only the fact of the scale of production that requires these massive inputs of well, not necessarily fertilizers, but definitely insecticides and probably herbicides. If you're a gardener or a small-scale farmer, you know you need to practice crop rotation, because if you keep growing the same plant in the same place, the same family of plants, like if you keep growing brassicas in the same place year after year, you'll get clubroot. If you grow garlic in the same place year after year, you'll get white rot. And there are certain problems inherent with the host plant. So you put thousands of acres of one plant in, and it's like a little beacon saying, here I am, problem, come and get me. I got lots of host plants here, and you have to apply the inputs in order to solve the problem. We actually need to break that down, stop the monocultures, reduce the scale, and add the diversity back into the picture. And these are all pretty elemental things. The way it's done right now is just not sustainable.